Today is Juneteenth, a day that carries the weight of history and the breath of freedom. It marks an ending that wasn't truly an end, and a beginning that we're still trying to live into. For many, it's a celebration. For others, a somber reminder. And for me this year, it's both and more. I didn't release the Thinking Thursday last week. I wanted to, but the truth is, I was deep in the current of my own grief. Last week marked the anniversary of my father's funeral, and something about the timing, the national unrest, and the energy in the air made the moment feel too raw to speak through. I needed to sit with it, to listen, and to feel, and to grieve, but not just for him, for the ancestral grief that lives in my bones and in the body of this nation. I've been thinking a lot about how challenging it is to move through grief while still having the desire to show up for others. How strange it is to feel like your life's mission is to offer clarity and hope, while all you want is a quiet moment to be held, to be seen, and to be hugged. There's a paradox in being someone who tends to others while still yearning to be tended to, but that paradox is part of the sacred existence. Last week, we saw peaceful protests rise up all across the US. The streets became cathedrals of sorts, people showing up not just to resist, but to reimagine. That's what being a social justice religion means to me, holding space for liberation in all its forms, political, emotional, and spiritual. And when I say religion, I mean it in the most liberatory sense. Creating a religion means you get to build it however you want. Dancing at a protest, meditating under the sky, burning sages and offering, or holding space for healing. These are all sacred rituals of resistance. A few days ago, I saw news footage of a man standing in front of massive blocks of ice, playing classical music through a PA system, while he just stood there and watched them melt in real time. That was his protest. As a performer and theater kid in the past, I've always been moved to infuse artistic expression into everything I do, including this. Protests can be soul resonant, humanity honoring acts of collective remembrance. They can be silent and holy, or include line dancing and gospel music. What matters is that we meet the moment with intention and infuse it with light, love, and radical hope. To support this kind of spirit forward movement, I created the Practical Guide to Peaceful Protest, a resource rooted in sacred strategy. It's not just about organizing safely, it's about showing up soulfully. It's about remembering that the movement can be joyful, reverent, and deeply transformative. That's the mission of SJSP, to offer a path forward that honors our full humanity, spirit, body, and heart. We're in a pivotal moment in this country, one that demands clarity, compassion, and courage. It demands that we understand our emotions not as liabilities, but as sacred messengers. It demands that we reclaim our grief as evidence that we have loved deeply and lived, and that we still believe in the possibility of something better. So if you're tired, I see you. And if you're angry, I honor that. And if you're grieving, you're definitely not alone. And if you're still daring to dream in the midst of all of this, then you're practicing a radical kind of faith that SJSP exists to hold space for. And if you've been looking for a spiritual home that resonates with the fire in your chest, that is ignited by justice, we're here for you. This Juneteenth, may we celebrate and remember that showing up with your full heart, even when it's heavy, is an offering. I'm Jasper James, and thank you for taking the time out of your day to join me for this special edition of Thinking Thursday. Be well.